everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Everyday Whiskey. I'm Dan.
And I'm Mike. And on this week's episode, we are doing Penelope American Light Whiskey. It's a 13-year aged light whiskey from Penelope, who, as you guys have known, if you've watched our other episodes, right there, they are another Jersey local
Distillery and blender.
Yes.
So this one is not distilled in New Jersey. It is distilled in Seagrams, Indiana, a.k.a. this is an MGP product. This is 2000. The barrels from this were barreled in 2008, so it is a 13-year-old. Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the time it was bottled. It's a 13-year-old whiskey, American light whiskey. You might be wondering, what the fuck
is an American light whiskey?
What the fuck is a light whiskey?
It's not diet, don't worry.
Yeah, it's a lot cooler, I think. Yeah. It's pretty cool and kind of nerdy, but I'm going to go over a brief summary. Basically, obviously, to heat something, you need to have a certain temperature. Mm-hmm. So, when you are creating bourbon or any sort of whiskey, your still cannot go over 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Once you go over 160 degrees Fahrenheit, you start to enter grain alcohol and vodka territory. Yeah. Once you go over 190 degrees Fahrenheit, then you are in legitimate grain alcohol territory. So, if your still temp falls between 160 and 190, depending on what you are making, it can be called light whiskey.
Okay. Interesting.
So it is a lighter version of whiskey, just because when you obviously distill at a higher temp, the body will go down.
Yes.
But also, when you leave something in a barrel for 13 years, you're going to have a lot of wood exposure. So
it kind of balances it. Well, theoretically, and we're going to find that out, theoretically it should kind of counterbalance.
That's what we're here to figure out.
Yeah.
This is not cheap.
No.
So retailing right now, it's between $90 and $100.
Yep.
I will not say what I pay because I did not pay that. But regardless, this is not what I would call an impulse buy.
This was very much an impulse buy. I may have had something to do with this when I was at his store today.
This was an impulse buy.
But it's not an impulse. It was an impulse buy, but it's not an impulse buy. The discussion ended
with, it's not really like it's your actual own money you're using, so it's like...
It's not an impulse buy, but this was an impulse buy.
If you're using free money, it's not an impulse buy. It's just now you acquired it.
Yeah.
That's more what it is. But, as you know, we love Penelope. We love Dan and Mike and what they're doing up there, so we have high hopes for this, but... Enough talking. Let's get into the bottle.
Let's go.
All right, fresh cork.
You crack it. It's your bottle.
Okay.
And for those who are just tuning in for the first time to maybe our channel, Dan and Mike are actually the name of the distillers and blenders at Penelope. Uh-huh. What a coincidence, I know.
These guys are located in Roselle Park, New Jersey.
Yes. Right over the bridge.
And we've done 4 other episodes on Penelope products.
Yes.
So, if Mike finds some hyperlinks, we'll put them up here between our Whiskey of the Year episode, our Rosé Cast episode, our Local Nights episode.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
We have.
I don't know which. Maybe I'll put the Whiskey of the Year again, and maybe I'll put like just the overview of Penelope. Like
I would do the Locals Night because that has here. You can put it on. So I haven't. So obviously, never had this before.
I like this.
This is also bottled at cask strength.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be interesting.
128.4 proof. So we're looking at 69% alcohol.
69.
Yeah, 69%. Is that right?
64.2.
Okay.
Close.
Nope. I just like 69.
Close. Yeah, close.
It's a
close.
really good number.
God, we're going to have one of those episodes.
Yeah. Shit.
Close. Class.
All right. Cheers to... See what happens here.
I don't know what to.
Whoa.
It's got a very corny nose.
Musty, though.
Musty. Oh, wait. Hold on. Yeah.
But like kind of like very light.
Wow, hold on.
It's a very light nose. Little corn sweetness, but there's like this little barnyardy like undertone to it.
All right, so if you hold your nose here and just slowly inhale for like 15 seconds, like just you get so much stuff.
It's very ethanol-y though. It's got a lot of that like
corn, hay, herbs.
I don't get herbs. I get corn and hay.
No. When I mean herbs, I mean kind of like that Heaven Hill. That,
like very almost like earthy?
Like
dirt?
Like just herbaceous. Not herbs like cooking
It's
herbs.
an interesting nose. It's not like very bourbon-esque for sure. At all.
I get a little...
It's not this is light whiskey,
little bit of chocolate and oak on the very back.
I can get the milk chocolate in the back.
Definitely milk chocolate.
I get no oak for me.
I think it's just blending into the chocolate note, Frank.
But
I don't know. This is a really good... I like this nose a lot,
Yeah, let's give this a shot, though.
It's complicated, but...
Oh my God. Oh my god.
Wow, that hits hard
God.
at first.
I think the light bodiness of this is not. Words don't work.
All right. Hold on. You can't. The first sip is
All right.
always very rough.
All I'm saying is like immediately like it's hitting.
It's
hard.
cask strength. It's fucking cask strength. Let's put it like that.
It's dry.
Um,
It's very dry. All right.
I need another sip.
Let's
I need
reset.
another sip
We
because
need
that
water
first,
too.
Okay, yeah.
We're gonna need water for this one.
That first sip is always. It's like a shock to your system. It's like jumping into like a cold pool. Like it's a shock to your system.
Let's
We
recompose
gotta go
ourselves.
again, yeah.
Let's recompose ourselves. All right. First time again.
All right, there we go.
All right. Second one. We're good. I think the palate just needed to like be
It just because
palate
when
needed to be dumbed down a little bit.
when you pour your first drink of the night, if you're gonna go for a cask drink, it's gonna hurt. No matter what it is,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
gonna hurt right off the bat. That's why I say it's like jumping into a cold pool. Like it shocks you initially, but then now your palate, the second, the third, the corresponding sips are all gonna ease out. Now, I need to ask you a question. Did you read this little paragraph yet?
Oh no.
No, don't. I don't want you to. I'm gonna say two things on here and tell me if you get them because I can certainly pick them up.
Wait, they're palate notes.
They're tasting notes.
Oh, I gotta go into this because I'm still like kind of.
Do it one more time
My
because
palate is a bit roasted right now.
I get these notes. One I get more than the other, by far. But I think these two notes actually sum this up very well.
I know I'm the worst at this. I know what I'm tasting, but I can't like.
All right. Well, they say cinnamon and creme brulee.
I have not had creme brulee enough to know what like
okay.
it really tastes like.
All right. So then that's
The cinnamon, I understand.
I get the
now
cinnamon
that,
100%.
Now that you say cinnamon, I do get that.
I get that, and I've had enough creme brulees, luckily recently, to know like that sweetness on the very sweetness you're getting at the end is a combination of like a vanilla, but then that thick, creamy, sweet deliciousness of a custardy creme brulee, whatever the hell creme brulees are even made out of. Still don't know, and my girlfriend's a baker.
I get a little creaminess, which I'm guessing is
That's going to be like the creme brulee.
like-
Yeah, that creamy sweetness at the end.
So
That's
it's
the creme brulee taste.
All right, like I said, whoever's watching this, like if you see the first reaction,
Yeah.
do not
It's
base
'cause
that
we
on
just-
the first reaction because that shit just donkey punched me.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. When your first drink of the night is a 64% bourbon, it kind of shocks your palate there. I am interested to try this with water like you're doing. All right, what else do they say? Savory vanilla.
It does
cinnamon
warm up
creme
your
brulee.
chest a lot though. Oh.
Yeah, it's a very warming
I'm
beverage.
just gonna say, if anybody is not into overproof stuff, this is not your whiskey. This is big, very big.
I do get a lot of sweetness on the back, though. A lot of sweetness.
Nose opens up a lot.
Does it?
You really get that hay note. And the hay note really comes up to the top.
Oh, we have a whole nother one of these bottles. We're
Yeah.
gonna make these bottles last a long time.
Yeah, I don't drink out of them. It's just for whiskey.
And where'd you get these again?
That was a gift set.
Yeah.
Spadeburn gift set.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's why I took a couple because I knew I would use them. I just didn't know like for what.
You gotta get more of those.
Now smell it. It's like it swirl around a little bit, let it like integrate, but like the hay note really with the water kind of gets amplified. To me, and the wood note's definitely more there.
The wood, the
that I
oak
didn't
is coming
get, and
through
the
a lot
wood note
now.
that I didn't get originally is definitely more there.
Wood, and by wood, oak. Definitely some of that. I can see what you're saying with the hay, the grains.
So I really do that cinnamon note that was kind of there that I kind of like I said like you would have had to tell me it was cinnamon for me to be like, oh yeah, I get that is cinnamon. Now I know that's cinnamon.
It's straight on. Yeah, there we go.
So I do think this is a whiskey that water really does
it
kind of go a long way, and it dumbs down the heat enough that you can kind of dissect it a little bit more.
Oh, excuse me.
So the whiskey to me, like it's good as neat, but with water, it's a lot more
It
fun.
excels.
I think it excels with water, and it's a lot more fun for me to drink. Coy Hill, nothing saved that.
Mm-mm. Oh, wow.
Right? I think it's a
Wow.
better whiskey with a little bit of water.
It does open up with the water a lot. Now you're really getting that cinnamon and creme brulee.
It's straight up cinnamon and creaminess.
Yeah,
It's
good.
very good with water. I love this.
This is a really good bottle.
That's what I'm saying.
13 years old, corn barley malt.
And the vanilla is there too, though.
Founder's Reserve.
The minerally vanilla, is there at the back end of the palate. It's like kind of like clinging.
Well, because there's a lot of sweetness in this.
Yeah.
All around.
But so, like I said, whoever don't take the first reaction for like, oh God, what did they just do?
No, that's more or less just our fault for
the
not
whole
preparing.
point too is like it's a new whiskey, so what you do is you gotta like kind of tamper with it a little bit. Okay, like first hit really rough, second sip got a lot better, third sip kind of settling in now. Add a little water, we found the sweet spot, and it's just kind of like you gotta find a groove with it. It's good. It's very good.
Really good.
Not my favorite thing they've ever made.
No.
The Toasted to me still is the best bottle they've ever made.
100%. That bottle, I would pay double what I paid for that bottle.
Yeah, I would pay what I paid for this bottle for that bottle.
Yeah,
and then
I would too.
Just flip it, essentially.
100%. So would you say this bottle is worth it then? What it clocks in on the shelf?
My whole thing here...
to give you guys a more accurate answer, so yes, you'll find it between like 90 and 100.
Go 85 and 95. Somewhere.
Well, it was listed on the shelf for 95.
99. Yeah, 95.99.
So is this a $96?
This is a bottle that's worth what it is to you.
Yeah.
I think. So, like, Penelope obviously has a lot of heat in the industry right now. Like, their cask strength editions are on every major whiskey store shelf in the entire country. Yeah. The Toasted Barrel series are really coming up as, like, a great sleeper bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
The 4 grain's a staple in bars in New Jersey.
You know who has a whole shelf of Toasted?
Who?
Fisher.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Now I have to go all the way to Manahawkin again.
Yeah. It's closer to me to go to Manahawkin.
Well, it is closer to you.
But, so, if you're a Penelope fan, yes, I would say you should buy this because this completes... Yeah. This sounds weird, but it's like a plot hole if you're a Star Wars fan. It's a plot hole. You watch all the series so you can find all the information that you don't get from the movies.
Yeah.
This is kind of that same thing where it's like, it's definitely kind of like a B character, but it's creative, it's different, it's cool, a little kooky. And you're not going to have anything else like this on the market. No. There's nothing else like this on the market. So it's hard for me to say whether, like, is this worth it. So realistically, what I would pay for this, like I said, I would pay probably what I paid for the Toasted Barrel series.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to say what the retail is. I think this is a $75 bottle.
About. I'd say so.
That's what I'll say. I know that was a very long-winded answer to, like, what you would pay for this.
It makes sense because there's a lot to go into with this. I think some people will find it's very much so worth its price, and I think other people, like us, are a little on the fence. I mean, we like the hard-hitting stuff. We like the strong stuff.
To an extent, though. That's my whole thing.
Yeah, these are getting to that... these are entering the danger zone of our palates, where, like, it could be... Literally 1% can make all the difference.
Yeah, and I don't know...
It could be very, very rough.
I agree. And, like, I don't know enough about distilling to know, like, how a light whiskey takes on with a higher proof and comparing it to how long it's been in a barrel and how all of that juxtapose balances out at the end of the day. But from my basic knowledge, what I think, and you can agree or not agree with me, it seems like the light whiskey with the lighter palate, which it definitely is a lighter palate for a cask strength whiskey, is not taking to a higher proof as well as your traditionally distilled bourbon.
No,
but
definitely
you're
not.
Also creating unique flavors that do not occur in regular bourbon. Yeah. So to me, that kind of cancels out, and I really do enjoy this.
I should have brought back the Alberta for this one because that's almost the exact same proof. And comparing not the whiskeys, but comparing the proofs side by side would give us a good idea of, like,
the mash bill's so different there too, though.
Yeah, it is a little bit different. Yeah, because one's a rye, this isn't. But I agree with what you said. I think there's a lot to figure out between a light whiskey versus a normal whiskey and a proof.
I think it's just like the rosé cask, where, like, even like Dan and Mike both said it to us, where it's like it's an experiment. Yeah. So we're gonna play with it. I think this needs a little more tweaking. Yeah, but it's solid.
It needs if you want to retain the light whiskey factor and the cask strength, it needs a little something, and I don't know what that is, but we're not distillers.
And they're gonna do other ones.
blenders.
This is part of, I think it's their reserve or their founders
Yeah, it says
series.
the Founders Reserve down
Yeah,
underneath.
it's their founders reserve series. So they're gonna do other ones like this, and I will 100% buy the other ones that come out because I want to see what they do with this. All right, we need to cut it off here though because we have been talking a while. If you like the video, do what it said in the beginning: like, share, comment, subscribe. Do all 4 of those. We really appreciate it. And we hope you enjoyed this review. Any closing comments, Mike?
Buy it.
I would buy it.
Yeah.
You know, it's worth what it is
If you're a Penelope collector or enthusiast or lover, buy it.
Buy it. All right. Everybody have a great week. Cheers.
Peace.